Hello, and thank you for attending the Advising Study Abroad workshop for the College of Professional Studies and Fine Arts. I'm Dr. Nicole Carter Curtis, and I will be your guide through this Advising Study Abroad workshop. Today, we will welcome you. We'll discuss the major advising role in the study abroad process. We'll discuss finding courses, getting courses approved, next steps, and we will also provide you information on how to ask questions after this workshop has ended. First of all, welcome. Are you prepared and ready for this workshop? What exactly do I mean by that? Do you have something to write with? Do you have something to take notes on? And also, do you have something to write your questions down with? That is being ready and prepared because we definitely want to welcome your questions if you have any, and we certainly want you to take your own personal notes so that you can take down the things that are important to you. Welcome. Today, we're going to provide information on the major advising role in the study abroad process. We'll also provide access to and information on the different tools and forms you will need for major departments to approve courses that are not approved. And finally, we aim to explain the course approval process. Our role. Well, what is our role as major advisors and minor advisors? What exactly is our role in this process? We only have two roles. We have a role of reviewing major courses, and that's prior to application. There are two types of major courses. There are those that are approved and those that are not approved. Our role in reviewing major courses is only for the non-approved courses, which we'll go over shortly. Another major advising role is to sign the AAF. I have the AAF linked here, and so we will look at the AAF. But before we get to the AAF, I wanted to link you to the Global Education Portal, where there's lots of specific information about this form, which is also called the Academic Approval Form. So this site talks about what this form is, who needs to complete this form, when you should start completing the form, why you need the form, the deadlines to submit your completed form, where to access the form, and how you can get started on the academic approval form. This link here links you to the instructions on how to fill out the AAF form. So all of this information can again be found on the Global Education Portal, which I have linked to our workshop presentation. It's very important to know a couple of things. For the AAF, that form is not going to be signed by your major or minor advisor until after you have been accepted into the program you wish to attend. It's very important for you to complete all the sections and sign them where appropriate. If you have an international experience requirement in your major or minor, it is important that that advisor sign this form as well. If you are interested in taking any general education classes while you're abroad, that is a separate location. So major and minor advisors are not going to be signing on general education classes. General education classes will be listed on page 2 of the AAF. On page 3 of the AAF is where major and minor advisors will sign. That is the only place that major and minor advisors will sign. So again, we have two roles. Prior to the application, we'll review any non-approved major courses or minor courses. After you've been accepted to the program you're interested in studying at, we will sign the AAF. So let's talk about finding courses. The first place you're going to go in this process is to get some general information. I have listed your PSFA study abroad advisor here, who is Giselle Johnson, and her email address can be found here. But it's very important that you first go to the Global Education Portal, which I have also linked to this presentation. On the Global Education portal, you'll find detailed advising information and the program database. So here is the Global Education portal. And you'll see here there are a couple of links to get started and to search programs. But before you even go there, we're going to start with advising. And so when you click on Start Advising, you'll be directed to the online advising steps. And those steps include completing a preliminary advising questionnaire and instructions on how to meet with your global education advisor. Please note that completing the advising questionnaire is mandatory before meeting with your advisor. So every student interested in studying abroad is going to start here on the Global Education portal and click on Start Advising. When you click on Start Advising, you will be required to log in. Additionally, on this page, you will find very important application deadlines, which are listed here. You will also find events. So oftentimes the Global Education Office will host upcoming workshops or drop-in hours and other events. So all of that can be found here additionally. Finally, there's some statistics and some testimonials from students who have studied abroad on this page. You'll also find above that there are some links to some programs, funding, a travel registry, etc. So this is a very informative page. And again, this is where you are going to start. So here is a general timeline that you'll use. And so step one, again, involves meeting with your study abroad advisor and scheduling that meeting through the portal I just showed you. Next, you're going to choose your program and the location that you'd like to study. You will you will also then review any approved courses that you may want to take while you're abroad. And then finally, you'll submit any unapproved classes on the course planning tool. So now I'm going to go into a little more detail on steps 3 and 4. So again, I have linked the PSFA course options here. So if you are a major or minor in PSFA, the courses that have been approved are on this page. And so this is the academics and courses abroad portion of the Global Education website. And so you'll scroll down to major and minor courses abroad, and you'll click on professional studies and fine arts. That's our college. Here you will find spreadsheets for all of the different majors with approved course options abroad. So I'm in the School of Communication, so we'll use that as an example today. So let's say that you have decided that you want to study abroad in Italy. You're going to go to the bottom of the spreadsheet and you are going to select Italy. And so as we select Italy, if we scroll down this page, we'll see that there are several colleges that have programs in communication or offer classes in communication at these different universities. Okay, you'll notice that Marist College, API Florence at Lorenzo de' Medici has many classes that are approved. So starting on the left, you'll see the institution, followed by the program type, course status, the SDSU course number, the SDSU course title, converted SDSU units. This is how many units you will get when you return that will be counted towards your SDSU totals. You'll see the course number abroad. You'll find the course title abroad. And the units abroad and course description abroad may or may not be there, but it's not a big deal. This is where you will get the information you'll need to figure out if there are any approved courses at the college you wanted to study at. Okay? So that is a brief summary of how you will find courses that are approved. Again, you'll start at the bottom of the spreadsheet and check for the country that you are interested in studying at. If there is not if there is not a country that you're interested in studying at, we will use the not approved process, and we'll go through that in just a few moments. All right, so like I mentioned, getting courses approved. Let's say that you want to study in a country that does not have any classes approved, or there may be a college that has been approved, but a particular course that you'd like to take that has not been approved. So that's when you would follow these steps of getting courses approved. So let's go through course approvals. Again, we have the approved PSFA courses, which I just showed you. Then we also have approved GE courses. So I have those linked here. And if you click on that, that will take you to this SDSU GE Study Abroad page. Here you simply put in the country, no need for the institution. So let's say I want to go to Argentina, and then I just click the search button. This will provide me with a list of all the classes I can take in Argentina at these different institutions, followed by the course title, the course number, and the SDSU GE pattern that it is approved for. So if I went to Argentina and went to Universidad Católica de Córdoba, and I wanted to take this course title, Ética, I could take that and it would count as an Explorations Humanities. So that would be an upper division humanities course that class would count for. So this is super helpful. Again, GE courses are going to go on which page? You got it, page 2. Are they signed off by the major advisor? No, they are not. If you have questions about who signs off on the GE courses, I would contact Giselle about that question. All right, so going back to our presentation, the next type of class, again, are the unapproved courses. Please allow 7 business days for a response from your major advisor. So once you go through completing the course planning tool that I'm going to show you, you will submit this course planning tool to your major or minor advisor. Again, please allow us 7 business days for a response. Your deadlines are posted on the website, as I showed you, so it's super important that you don't wait until the last minute to submit this course planning tool to us. A couple of notes about the course planning tool. You'll need to read this carefully and completely. Remember that the courses that you try to take in your major or minor must be upper division courses at the host institution to satisfy the upper division major requirements. And approvals are specific, okay? So those are just a couple of notes. So let's click on the course planning tool link, and it brings you to this course planning tool. The very first thing that you're going to want to do if you want to get an unapproved class approved is you're going to go to File, Make a Copy, okay? Very important. You'll notice that this tool is view only. So it's very important that you make a copy for yourself. The next thing to know is that we have a list here again of the pre-approved courses for your major or minor. So the first step is to always check to see if there are courses approved abroad for your major or minor. You can do that right here on this tool through this link. Also, pay attention to the following 3 things. Does it sound similar to the SDSU requirements you're trying to fulfill? Look at that course description, very important. Number 2, the course level. Is this course upper division or lower division? And finally, the U.S. semester unit value. How many units will the class transfer over to SDSU? And will that work for you? So to find the answer to the to the last 2 things that we're asking you to pay attention to, you can click on this link here, the Global Institutions Guide for Unit Equivalencies. And you'll see that document here. So let's just click on it. And this again outlines all the information you need for those 2 questions. So again, your country, the school, here is the unit conversion, okay? Here is whether or not which classes are considered upper division. So for this particular one, it says 3rd year and higher level courses are upper division. Can consider 2nd year level courses with department approval of course content. And I think it's very important to also note here that grading For most of your abroad experiences is going to be credit, no credit, okay, which is not factored into the GPA. Okay, so this is how you'll find out whether the course is upper division and how many units the course will count toward when you bring it back to San Diego State. Okay, so going back to the course planning tool, you'll again need to save your own copy of this template, which I told you to do the very first thing I asked you to do, followed by your name, who is requesting this approval. And then also insert your program title here. So this is where the name of the university where you want to study will go. As you fill this out, you'll see different columns. And in this first column, it's asking you for the course title and number. So it's asking you for the course title and number at the university abroad. In the next column, you'll be asked if this is upper or lower division. Again, the same link I just showed you is here, so you'll be able to quickly access that. Same thing here with the US semester unit value. And then you have the course description and syllabi. So what you want to do is you want to copy and paste the course description, probably from the website, and place it here. And you'll also want to, if you can find it, attach the syllabus. And you can attach that as a separate attachment in your email that you're going to send this document to your major or minor advisor. This column is very important because I want you to remember that foundations, explorations, major or minor, this is where you will tell us which course you would like this to count toward. Now, I bring this up because the only classes that your major or minor advisors want to see is major or minor courses. We don't want to see foundations or explorations. Again, those are general education classes, and that is a whole separate approval process, okay? So that will go to someone else. The only classes that should be listed here should say either major or minor, okay? And then finally, the SDSU desired course equivalency. This is a very important field because we don't want to have to guess which class that you think this class should be equivalent to. It's your responsibility to look through the SDSU catalog, the course description specifically, for the class that you would like to take. So for example, in communication, we have a class that's called COM 452. It's interaction and gender. So here is where you would put COM 452 if you found a class that talked about interaction and gender in the context of communication. So that would be an example of what we're looking for here. We would want to see you place COM 452 here, or ART 351 there, or whatever class it is that you're interested in taking to meet an SDSU requirement while you're abroad. And then finally, there's a column for notes. So if you have any notes that you want to share with us, this is where those would go. All right. Okay, so now we've gone over the course planning tool. Remember, the course planning tool is only for unapproved courses. You're going to first review the PSFA approved list of courses. Then, if you cannot find that university or you cannot find a particular class at a university that has been approved, you are going to use this and complete this course planning tool. Don't forget, please make your own copy of this course planning tool and allow 7 business days for a response. All right, so that brings us to our next steps. What do you do now? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to visit the Global Education Portal and complete the questionnaire. From there, you will make an appointment to schedule a meeting with your study abroad advisor. Next, you'll decide on a location and program. You'll review that approved course list for that location and program. And finally, you'll use that course planning tool for unapproved courses and email that to your minor or major advisor after you have been accepted into a program. Okay, so it's important that you fill that course planning tool out after you've been accepted into a program. All right. Well, that is the end of this presentation. I hope it's been informative. This is where you will submit any questions you may have. Specifically, if you have any questions, you can send them to me at ncartercurtis@sdsu.edu. For art, if you are planning to take any art classes for your major or minor, they've requested that you please send any questions to art.advising@sdsu.edu. Again, thank you so much for your time today. I hope this was helpful. Take good care.